Ladies and gentlemen, there's been another arrest in the January 6th event, and this is an arrest worth talking about. If you have progressive friends or Antifa types that you know, make sure you send them this, because this is an important lesson. Now, remember when we covered the January 6th event in detail, we did it through the perspective of that Jaden X character, John Sullivan, the person who masqueraded as a unbiased and objective news reporter, but as we looked into him, was actually quite radical and participating in every video frame that we could find. He sold the footage of the shooting that he had, and he went on CNN and did a bunch of interviews and was riding high for quite some time. But one thing about the federal bureaucracy, one thing about the monster, is that working for the beast is not going to make you safe, guys. You're going to get a little pat on the head, and they might let you have your 15 minutes of fame on CNN, but at the end of the day, they all eventually come for their own. All you need to do is look at history. The people who assist the destruction of this society, you think you're safe, but you're not going to be safe. Because it will come for you. You might stave it off for a little while. Maybe you're the last one on the list. So you get to see the destruction of the collapse before they come for you. But they'll always come for you. The U.S. seizes $90,000 from man who sold footage of the U.S. Capitol riot. This is according to Reuters. U.S. authorities have confiscated roughly $90,000 from a Utah man who sold footage of a woman being fatally shot during the Jan6 attack on the U.S. Capitol by supporters of former President Donald Trump, according to court filings. It's an odd way to say murdered. Prosecutors have also filed additional criminal charges against the man, John Sullivan, a self-described political activist who is accused of entering the Capitol building and participating in the riot, the filings unsealed on Thursday showed. Now, I was put on a 2-week suspension and handed a strike for saying that paragraph back in February. Hopefully, now that I'm just reading a news article, I won't catch it again, but there's nothing saying I won't. Sullivan, who now faces a total of 8 criminal counts, including weapons charges related to the riot. So this man had weapons at the riot, weapon charges at the riot. Sullivan's lawyer did not immediately respond to a request for comment. I bet he didn't. I can't read that paragraph. According to the court filings, Sullivan portrayed himself as an independent journalist who was reporting on the chaos, but actually encouraged other participants to, quote, burn the building and engage in violence. Now, this is an insane revelation, something that we had already talked about on this channel. But what's the one thing that this paragraph is leaving out? That he is a BLM activist. That he is an activist of the left. That his prior engagements involved him protesting for Black Lives Matter. So it becomes a lot stranger now that the official court filings are admitting that he was there to incite people to burn and engage in violence. Sullivan recorded video of the confrontation between rioters and police just outside the U.S. House of Representatives chamber that included the shooting of protester Ashli Babbitt, and according to court filings, boasted in an unnamed witness that my footage is worth like $1 million, millions of dollars. Because that's how this person saw the murder of Ashli Babbitt. Sullivan sold that footage to several news outlets for a total of $90,000, according to a seizure warrant. The news outlets were redacted from the warrant. I wonder if they're going to bring those news outlets up on charges. And then at the very bottom, you get your juiciest part, right? According to media reports, so nothing that Reuters is willing to say, but according to media reports, Sullivan participated in Black Lives Matter protests last year. Other Black Lives Matter activists in his home state have disavowed him. So they have to acknowledge this association, but they try to downplay it as much as they can. They put it at the very bottom of the story, and they don't say he's a member of BLM, but they say he attended some protests. And they, of course, have to put out there, of course, the local chapters of Black Lives Matter have disavowed him. But this news story can't help but to show you that you had a BLM activist masquerading as independent journalism, instigating the riot. That is quite literally COINTELPRO. The fact that this news story is being reported this way and people aren't freaking out about it is just unbelievable to me. But the overarching thing I want to say about this story is, to you other John Sullivans in the world, the feds will come for you too. Everything burns. Like, share, subscribe to the channel. I got more content coming up. Love you guys. Peace.